Hey everybody, welcome back to After Credit Movie Chats. My name is Dean Thomas, and I thought it was time to get back up on the saddle, pun intended obviously, and start getting these movie reviews back up on YouTube for you guys. And to kick off this new year and this new trend of doing them back here on YouTube, we've got Jane Got a Gun, the Western movie starring Natalie Portman, Joel Edgerton, and Ewan McGregor, directed by Gavin O'Connor, who you may know from movies like Miracle and Warrior. And this movie, I think, isn't coming in with a lot of buzz because there were so many problems surrounding it. You should really take some time and look up all the problems they had getting this movie going, from how many directors they lost to cast members coming in and leaving, coming in, leaving. But while that normally can be a bad sign, I think the encouraging thing was each time some actor left, another big name, big talented actor came through, or actress I should say. So we ended up here with Natalie Portman, Joel Edgerton, and Ewan McGregor. Now the basic plot line of this movie is Jane, played by Natalie Portman. Her husband is being hunted down by the Bishop Gang, a bunch of outlaws. They're after her husband for some wrongdoing he did. I won't spoil too much for you guys, so I'll just leave it at that. And she goes to find help in her ex-fiance, who they've not really been together or seen each other in around 5 or so years because he's a gunslinger and she needed some help defending herself from the Bishop Gang. And that's the basic gist of this movie. Coming into this movie, I'm a big fan of Westerns, and I think that's very important because if you don't like Westerns, this probably isn't your movie. But I really enjoy Westerns. And this one, although nothing too spectacular about it as far as story goes or anything, it's really well done. The first 2/3 of the movie, the first and second act, are very much a slow build. But with Westerns, if you like Westerns, you know that's what a lot of them are. And I think the important piece to making a good Western is being able to build some tension during that slow build. Along with the building towards the climax, you have to have the tension build. And I think director Gavin O'Connor really knows how to do that. In his other movies, he's always been able to bring a certain grit and realism to his movies. And in this movie, he brings that, but he also is able to build the tension as we move towards the payoff at the end, which in my opinion, was a pretty good one because of the way the tension was built throughout the movie. And so, as I said, I enjoy Westerns. I really like this one. The performances are all solid. Natalie Portman is really good. But I think Joel Edgerton is definitely the standout. The guy is really coming on strong here of late. If you haven't seen him, he was in The Warrior, directed by O'Connor. And he was also in last year's The Gift, which he was also really good in. And I think he's going to start being a name that maybe more and more of us know as we go forward. Like I said, the story's nothing special as I lay it out for you guys, but it's the way it's executed and the way the movie is shot, the gritty realism to it. And I always like when these Westerns are more pushed towards the R rating because they can get a little cheesy and over the top if not. And this one, like I said, O'Connor knows how to do realism, but I think the R rating helped really ground it, really make it feel like this is the Old West. It's not over the top in any way at all, but it's just kind of the gritty, violent nature of the Old West that really comes through with this. And to me personally, because I like Westerns, I don't know if there's a more visually beautiful movie out there if a Western is shot well. To me, if a Western is shot well with the scenery and the way that the sun cascades over the landscape, there isn't a more beautiful kind of genre that you can really make. And this movie really does look amazing. And it's such a simple story that it's easy to follow, and I really enjoyed it for that. As far as the negatives go, they rushed some things. It's only an hour and a half movie, which in the same time is a good thing. They didn't draw things out. As I said, it's a slow build, and they would have drawn it out. I think they would really lose a lot of people. But they use flashbacks in this movie, which also work well. Some of them are really brief, and it just kind of like jars you for a second, and then you're right back into it. The acting performances are solid, but like this movie definitely isn't going to be something you're going to hear around Oscar time. It's nothing like that. It's just a good, solid Western, and because I like Westerns, I really enjoyed this movie. So it's probably time to score it. As you guys know, I've normally give it a percentage out of 100 because that seems to be the big thing with Rotten Tomatoes, so it's easier to do it that way. And when I really enjoyed this movie, I like Westerns, I like the performances. Gavin O'Connor's becoming a director. I really, really look forward to his movies. So Jane Got a Gun, I would probably score a 75 out of 100. Really liked this movie. Nothing too amazing, spectacular, jaw-dropping, but a really solid, fun Western that looks beautiful. The tension really gets you, really draws you in, and I just had a lot of fun with this movie. There you guys have it. That would be my review for Jane Got a Gun. Make sure you're checking out our website, aftercreditmoviechats.wordpress.com, for all the other reviews I'll be doing later on and all the latest movie news and trailers along with all that. Make sure you search After Credit Movie Chats on sites like Redbubble and TeePublic to get our merchandise. Follow us on Twitter at AC Movie Chats. That's where I'll give you guys all the links to these reviews and all the latest trailers that drop. So make sure you're following us there as well. I thank you guys for listening. Let me know if you go out and see Jane Got a Gun and what you thought, as I gave you my thoughts already. And we'll see you back here next time. Thanks.